Reconnect with Rockers. This, for me, is what my job is all about. When I get to see that Rick Nielsen has entered the waiting room for the Zoom. This is like a giant moment for me. I'm so happy to see your face. It is great to see you. And rock royalty, man, rock royalty on my Zoom feature. Thank you so much for doing this.
Well, you're dressed appropriately, so thank you very much.
Do you think I would not take I have like 9 Cheap Trick shirts. I have one for every season. I got the tank for the summer, the long sleeve. I've got every Cheap Trick shirt known to man. Rock's coolest logo still. Do you think I would not take the opportunity to wear this talking to you?
Well, I think you should have a 10th or 11th one. I'll have contact Carla and we'll send you some stuff.
Carla, you're man. Carla's been with you guys a long time too. Nobody's messing with Carla.
Oh no, she's a tough Brooklyn. I call her a tyrant, but she's
cool. She's a dynamo, man.
Oh no, she's got a heart of gold and a punch like a New Jersey.
I love that. Now, you guys are getting ready in April to release your 20th record called In Another World. I will tell you the best part of this for me, I didn't get an advanced copy, so to speak, but they gave me what they call an advanced listen. So here's what I did, Rick. You ready for this?
So you taped it?
No, I didn't do that. I put it on the computer, but I got so addicted to it that I was afraid if I closed the window, I would lose it. So I just kept putting the volume down, and then the next day I'd put the volume up, and I just kept letting it cycle through all the songs. It is fantastic. I think it's everything about the band we love. Every texture, every flavor, every color is covered with you guys on this record. First of all, how long did you work on it?
Let's see. Well, it was supposed to have been out like a year ago. So we'd finished it, but then of course all the crap happened. So everybody got delayed and stuff. Our tours got delayed. The record got delayed. So we did it. So probably a year and a half ago, something like that. And no sense putting it out until I don't think we really put the final touches on it until about a month ago, actually.
Yeah.
Because in the meantime, we'd recorded this, that, the other, and we had done Rebel with Jack Douglas.
Yep.
We did She Said for Howard Stern. And we had Joe Perry. We were at Johnny Depp's studio doing that, and then we did something else. Oh, we did a Nielsen Schmielsen song for another kind of tribute record. So it's like, it just seemed like we just kept recording. It's like so now it's time for this. I mean, we only finished the cover and all that stuff really about a month and a half ago.
You guys never stop working though. Nielsen Schmielsen, oh, so good. Love. You guys never stop working though. You're always a working band. And I think the last time we spoke might have been a show here in Jersey.
Morristown.
Probably. And you had said, we just have so many songs in the arsenal that we're just going to be putting out music. So I want to talk to you about a couple of tunes from this record because it's so good. The first radio single, which we're playing, is Light Up the Fire. There's so many straight ahead rockers on it, of course. Light Up the Fire and The Party. I mean, just big giant hooks, amazing melody. I love Quit Waking Me Up. Very Beatles-esque. There's kind of that anthemic, battle cry. So talk to me about why it was so important for you guys to kind of get every sound, every flavor for the band on this collection.
Well, we just, we had these songs, just like some sound kind of real poppy, like Wake Me Up and The Party. And it's like, there were just all kinds of stuff. And I wasn't there when Robin did Help Me Out on the title.
The single?
No, not the single. I think it's the 8th track on the thing.
Not Boys and Girls and Rock and Roll.
No.
That's another one of my favorites. Boys and Girls and Rock and Roll is another favorite. I love Final Days.
Final Days. That was written for Julian Raymond, who we worked with. His brother-in-law died. And so we kind of did, we all knew him, and it was kind of a tribute to him, not knowing it was going to be on the record. Give Me Some Truth. We didn't know that was going to be on the record. Summer Looks Good on You. We didn't know that. It's like, so it wasn't really compiled later. But
Final Days is very kind of swampy and bluesy. It's got that big giant hook, and it's got that real kind of sexy, swampy kind of feel to it.
Oh yeah, Final Day. That's the kind of bluesy one. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, something like that.
I love it. I love it.
I'm not plugged in. I'm got a guitar. There's a 1962 Dwight that I'm playing here.
This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. And Boys and Girls in Rock and Roll is such a great straight ahead rocker. Well, let's talk about Rob. You mentioned Robin's vocals. Robin can do anything. He can.
He's a great. He's my favorite singer. He's the singer that I wish gee, I guess we've been together now a long time. But it's like he was the singer that I always wanted to have. I've got perfect pitch, but I got a shitty voice. But with
he's a growler, and he can growl, he can croon, he can sing, he can wail. He's got everything, and it must be so awesome for you as the guitar player to play off of that. He's so amazing.
He's a real singer. He actually took a couple voice lessons from my dad, who was he was an opera singer. So it's like he was a legit straight kind of singer. And then Robin, but he was sang in choirs and all kinds of stuff. And he's a real singer, not just a shouter. But he can shout real good too.
Yeah. And Robin has always had everything to me. I mean, he's the quintessential frontman. He knows how to work the crowd. He's always. Look, we're not going to lie. He was always a great looking dude.
Really? Oh, I thought it was me.
He was always that great looking dude where, back in the 70s, us girls were like, ooh, Robin Zander. So he has everything. He's just the perfect front man. And you've said recently, which I love this quote, you said, you know what? We're just too dumb to quit. We love to play. We just want to play music. That's what we do.
Yeah. A lot of people say, well, I tell people, I think we're a lot of people's fifth favorite band. It's like, we're not their number one favorite or whatever, but we're in the ranking of that kind of stuff. And it's like, in other bands like us, I think because we've had success, we've had failure, but we kept going at it. We just kept going. Every mistake a band makes, we've made them, but we always persevered and just said, screw it. It's like, we do what we like, and it's like, if records do well, tremendous. If they don't do well, we try to make a good record. It's like, it's been our whole career.
And what's amazing? You mentioned bands. I've been working at WDHA for a long time, and I've had so many artists in and on, and Cheap Trick is always a band that other bands say influenced them. So I think of all the artists that we may not have had today, whether it's Dave Grohl or members of Guns N' Roses or members of Green Day, without Cheap Trick. Do you guys feel like, I'm trying to think of the right, like an American treasure really in rock and roll? We're looking for these American treasures that stick around. I think of who we have. We had Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Cheap Trick, Alice Cooper maybe, but we're trying to think of our American treasures. And you guys are truly an American treasure in rock and roll.
Well, thank you. We, like I said, I don't mean to be extra humble and OG, but it's like the fact that, we do what we like, and we're lucky that we had any success, and we're lucky we had any fans, but we got a lot of fans, and we like what we do. And, it's, we're too dumb to quit, and our mistakes are real, and we're just a good band. And my other quote is, I don't think we've ever progressed, really. We never tried to be something that we weren't.
No.
We never tried to be, all right, we're going to do this. It's just like, no, that's phony.
Yeah. And you mentioned Julian Raymond before, and I wanted to bring him up to you because I would imagine, producers are such an important part of the process. I don't even like to say part of the recording. They're a member of the band. They're in the band. They're entrenched in the band. And Cheap Trick has never been a band. You have your own sound. You do your own thing. So I would imagine working with someone, and Julian's so well-rounded. Like, this is a guy who's worked with Glenn Campbell and Mute Math. Like, I can't think of anybody who's worked with two completely different types of artists. How important is it for you to have that person that you so trust working on these records like that? He's a big part of what the band does and who the band is.
Well, with four guys, either you got four people say yes, or three people say whatever. He's the deciding vote.
Is he?
And and it's like, it's two guys. Julian, what do you think? It's like, we trust him, and he's like, he never comes up with some awful idea. And it's usually what he tries to get out of us is what we do and we've done, and we're not even thinking about that. You should do something like, oh yeah, really? It's like, he talks us into being more of ourselves, which is like good enough.
Yeah, and that's tough. That is a tough thing, to talk you into being more of yourself. I love that, the way that you describe that. And that's, I think, why
I better write that one down.
You better, because the Cheap Trick sound is always the Cheap Trick sound. It's so funny because I think I was reading an article about you guys, and it was like you were referred to as like rock, punk rock, hard rock, power rock, pop rock, punk pop, glam rock. And I was like, that's perfect, because there is no sort of way to categorize this band. They are who they are.
Yeah, we're pretty diverse. That's like the new record. It's pretty diverse. It's like, you can't pick one. We had that in a good way and a bad way from the start. It's like, are we this? Are we that? Well, let's see. Which song should we play here? This one. It's like, oh yeah. It's like, it's cool to be diverse. I mean, the only one that's bands like that. Thank God AC/DC doesn't do any ballads. It's like, so they're perfect. I love those guys. It's like, and we toured together a lot together. It's like they stuck with what they did, and we stick with what we do. 3 or 4 chords and some melody.
Yeah. And I will tell you, the arsenal of tunes. I mean, oh my gosh. And when we go see you, you guys always have that perfect set list. The set list is always so perfect because you do the song. Obviously, you have to do certain songs because the fans want to hear certain songs. But still, like, I think last time I saw you, I was sitting next to a friend of mine, and I think he's worked with you on promoting some of the records, and he and I were sitting together. We're both massive fans. And I said, I'm hoping tonight for I Can't Take It, but I don't think they're going to do that. And then bam, you guys wailed into it. You always get those deeper cuts for the fans. We never know when we're going to get He's a Whore, Gonna Raise Hell, or I Can't Take It, or, it's a perfect set list because the hits are there. You'll sprinkle in some of the newer stuff that you've done, some of the newer radio stuff that you've done, and then you never know what deep cuts you're going to get. How do you pick the set list, every night when you are touring? Because I would imagine going through that arsenal of songs and trying to please everybody's got to be a task.
Yeah, we did in the last 5 or 7 or 10 years, whatever it is, we've changed the set every night.
Yeah,
we used to have to do, because of our drummer, who insisted on this, that, rather than argue before you go on stage, okay, we'll just keep doing this. That was, it was kind of sad to do because we had all this stuff. Now we write our set 40 minutes before we go on stage. And we have a roster of all these songs. Like we went to Europe, and I think we did 3 shows and we did 45 different songs.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's like, let's see, how does that one go? We had to rehearse it a bit before we go on. And it's like, Dax knows the music real well. I had no idea. When he's grown up, he wanted to do Metallica and
oh, that's great.
And whatever. And I never knew that he knew our songs. So it's like, plus he's classically trained. So that's F sharp minor. That's okay. So he knows all the stuff, and that helps. But it's like, yeah, we do have a lot of songs, and it's like some of those things the fun ones are fun, and it's like I like having fun, and it's like songs that never maybe get played ever on radio or whatever. Yeah, that's a cool one. Let's do that one. That's pretty hard. I know. We better. Little Sister. That's a one that's like we haven't done that in a long time. And just there's a lot of brand new name on an old tattoo. I wrote that was
Yep.
a writer from Todd Cerny was his name. He died, sorry to say, but he was so good. It was like, that's a cool song.
Yeah.
He was
Oh, yeah.
he was a
And it's
country
great.
guy.
You play those songs and the fans go crazy, you know, because there's such a diehard fan base and everybody loves hearing those deeper cuts. Let's talk a little bit about Dax. He's been with you guys now touring 11 years. 11 years.
Oh, I
Rick
can't
with
take
his
it. I'm just
guitar.
playing it for you.
I love it. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorites. So Dax.
Oh, you Dax. He's been 11 years. He toured with us when Bunny had his back operated on.
Yep, I remember that.
We were on tour with Aerosmith. Dax was the drummer for Dick Dale for 3 years.
Whew.
All around the world with him, and then he worked with
That's wild.
Randy Carlisle.
Yep. Yep.
And other stuff. He went to, I don't know where, I hadn't seen him like in 10 years, honestly, because he lived in LA. And he's lived like never mind. But we needed him overnight. He was supposed to go to Europe the next day. And I said, Dax, can you do this? And I said, Robin and Tom have to agree to have you. So it's not like Rick said, well, we got, I didn't want to hear about that. So, but they wanted them back. So then we got them back in one day, and we rehearsed once, and that was it. And then the next day we did Austin City Limits.
Wow.
South by Southwest.
Incredible. He's definitely injected this great kind of energy, into the band, and everybody kind of playing off each other. I mean, it's just an absolute perfect fit for the band. And I think it's probably got to be great for you too, to kind of connect with him and just be able to tour with him, obviously when you guys were touring, and just be with him for the last 11 years.
Yeah. It's like, I hadn't seen him in years. And it's like, so I didn't really know what he was up to and stuff. It turned out really well. Now we're also using Robin's son. Robin Jr.
Yep.
I don't know if he's Robin Jr. or we call him Z. So he's Robin Zander, and there's Robin Zander.
Right.
And so and he's musically terrific too.
Yeah. So do you guys, I'm going to say it. I mean, and I know you're a humble guy. I've spoken to you before. Do you feel still like, because you guys are still one of the coolest bands in rock. You just are.
I'm 30, but I feel like 16. That was our first album.
Right.
I'm 130 now, and I feel like 16 until I look in the mirror.
You never stop feeling 16.
So I tore all the mirrors out of my house.
You never stop feeling 16. Are you looking forward to getting out there again and touring? You guys are a touring band. You're a working band, a working rock and roll band, always out doing the shows, interacting with the fans.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
So that's what we like to do, and thank God that we have fans that come to see us, and promoters that want to book us, and other bands that want us to play. It's like it's great. It's the life that I've wanted my whole life. I mean, I didn't want to be anything else. I don't know that I wanted to be this, but it's like this is what I do.
Rick Nielsen, In Another World is coming out on April 9th. I've got to tell people I still have my advance to listen, and I'm not closing the window because I want to hear it.
Better not.
You know what else I wanted to ask you too? Yep. Another World is a song on the record, and I heard on the record there are two versions. Are there going to be two versions?
There's two versions of. Can I take I've got it right here on my computer, but I can't.
Yeah, I thought it was Another World, and I thought I heard like an up-tempo version and then a down-tempo version, and I was just wondering if we're going to get two versions of that song on the record.
One second, and I'll tell you.
Rick's checking it out for us because I love them both.
Yes,
I wouldn't be able to pick.
There we go.
We're getting it straight from Rick. Nothing cooler than that.
Yep. Here. Another World.
Yeah. Are both of those versions going to be on?
Yeah, they're both versions.
Love it.
Fast one and the slow one.
Love it. People are going to love this record. I am telling you, In Another World, it is so good. It is your 20th Congratulations. April 9th, we get it. And Rick Nielsen, I love you. And American Treasure, thank you so much for joining me. It's been such an absolute pleasure. It was the best part of my day today.
Holy cow. Can I talk to you the whole day now?
You'll come back next week. You better come. Let's do this
I'll come
every
back
Friday.
in an hour. I'll come back in an hour.
Thank you so much.
Let's get you some new wardrobe too.
I would, Carla, size small, please.
All right, sweetie.
DHA's Reconnect with Rockers is powered by Karis Lock Company, your full-service locksmith.